The 4 o'clock news starts right now.
Nursing homes and assisted living facilities across South Carolina are opening back up to visitors, but with very strict guidelines, what we have learned in the last couple of hours.
Plus, North Carolina is set to enter another reopening phase this Friday. What this means for business owners.
And a few showers are popping up across the area. We'll talk about our rain chances for the next few days, as well as near 100-degree heat index values on the way.
Gonna be hot. Good afternoon. I'm Victoria Carmen.
And I'm Cody Alcorn. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster and DHEC say you can now visit family members in assisted living facilities, but with very tight restrictions, and it needs to be outdoors if the facility qualifies. DHEC says a facility's ability to allow visitation depends all on a number of factors, including but not limited to existing cases of the virus within the facility, facility staffing capabilities, and PPE availability, facility's ability to comply with testing requirements. DHEC says each nursing home and assisted living facility will need a reasonable amount of time to meet the guidelines. DHEC says only about 92 facilities meet those guidelines as of today. Visitors are asked to coordinate with their specific facilities, and Governor McMaster went on to say this during an afternoon news conference.
And I worry about them like you do every day. I worry about the physical and mental and emotional health as you do every day. We know that we have no policy or procedure that can eliminate all possibility of risk. We can't do it. But the time has come, based on what we've learned, what we've experienced, to reunite our family members, loved ones, and caregivers safely as best we can.
And again, DHEC saying this afternoon in a release, only about 92 facilities meet the guidelines right now that it can allow for physically distant outdoor visitation. And that's only for a limited number of times, Tori. So again, this is a very tight guideline they're going off of.
And as of today, there are 90 nursing homes that have not had cases among residents or staff within the last 2 weeks. There are 31 nursing homes that have only had one case in the last 14 days. And starting today, Prisma Health lifting some restrictions for visitors. The new policy eases some rules for people visiting patients in the emergency department, maternity ward, and mental health department. Most visitors will be allowed between 2 to 6 in the afternoon. Visitors will still be screened and must wear a face mask. They must also remain in the patient's room at all times during their visit. The University of South Carolina suspended 6 sororities or fraternities and 15 students for violating COVID-19 safety rules.
This comes as the number of confirmed cases on that campus has passed the 500 mark. The university said it's now quarantined 9 sorority or fraternity houses, up from the previous 6. COVID-19 cases in South Carolina have begun to trend up again after hitting a low in recent weeks, with a 7-day average of new reports back above 900 cases. And of course, this comes after Furman University did the same thing after some off-campus parties last week. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper announced the state will enter Safer at Home Phase 2.5 on Friday. He says this is due to the hard work everyone has put in to slow the spread of COVID-19 over the summer.
Statewide mask mandates and other prevention methods will remain in effect. Gyms and indoor exercise facilities like yoga studios, martial arts, and rock climbing, and even skating rinks, bowling alleys, indoor basketball, volleyball courts may open at 30% capacity. Museums and aquariums may open at 50% capacity. Playgrounds may reopen. Mass gathering limits will increase to 25 people indoors and 50 people outdoors from that current limit, remember, of 10 indoors and 25 outdoors.
Bars, nightclubs, movie theaters, indoor entertainment facilities, amusement parks, dance halls will all remain closed. Large venues remain subject to the mass gathering limits. Well, several lawsuits have been filed against the owner of Lavish Lounge, as well as rap artists Gucci Mane and Fujiano. This stemming from that mass shooting back on July 5th that killed 2 and hurt 8 others. And Fox Carolina's Carrie Weimer is live outside Lavish Ultra Lounge on White Horse Road in Greenville.
And Carrie, you spoke with the attorney handling this case. What did he have to say about everything?
Well, Tori, the estate from Michaela Bell has filed that wrongful death lawsuit against several parties that were involved in a concert that took place in this building behind me here just a couple of months ago. There's an eerie stillness at Lavish Lounge on White Horse Road in Greenville. Candle wax still covers the ground where people came to show support for those killed or injured in the shooting that took place here in July. Like the literal cloud that hangs over the now closed business, the unanswered questions for the family of Michaela Bell still linger.
I think what everyone wants, the family especially, are answers. How could something like this have happened? Why did this happen? Michaela went out to enjoy a night with friends, and no one expected that she wouldn't make it home.
On July 5th, rapper Fujiano was performing a concert at Lavish Lounge when authorities say 22-year-old Jarquez Cooper was seen on surveillance video shooting into the crowd. Sheriff's Department said Cooper was part of Fujiano's entourage. Investigators say he was allowed in the back door of the club without being checked for weapons. 23-year-old Michaela Bell and 51-year-old Clarence C.J. Sterling died that night from gunfire, according to law enforcement.
Whether it's a club, a hotel, a restaurant, a bar, business owners need to start being accountable for what happens on their premises.
The defendants named in the lawsuit are Lavish Lounge owner Rami Khalil, the suspected shooter Jarquez Cooper, rapper Gucci Mane and the performer from his label Fujiano, as well as a Sierra 6 security company.
Had they just done the most basic part of their job, dangerous people armed with dangerous weapons should not have been allowed to enter.
Attorney Dalton says the family is suing for accountability and punitive damages.
I think the first thing that everyone's worried about are the two children that she left behind, that are left without a mother. It's impossible to put a value on someone's life, and especially when it's your mother or your daughter, you can't put a number on it. The value is immeasurable.
Now, we have reached out to the owner of Lavish Lounge here, as well as the management team of Gucci Mane and Fujiano, and the security team that was here that night. And as of right now, we have not gotten any comment back. Reporting in Greenville, I'm Carrie Weimer, Fox Carolina, the 4 o'clock news.
And of course, we'll keep you updated as we learn more with this. Thank you, Carrie, for that live report. Let's get a check at the forecast this Tuesday afternoon. It is hot out there. A live look for you at Lake Hartwell. Rather calm, no breeze, which makes things even harder when you're outside, just sweating through everything. Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent joining us now. And will it be like this the rest of the week, Kendra?
Yeah, it gets worse. We are going to be sweating so much toward Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll show you that coming up. But at least we are getting a little bit of relief from some showers up in the mountains and northern parts of the upstate. Northern Oconee County getting a little bit of rain, but a lot of the upstate will stay dry this afternoon. Don't expect to get rain, but it's possible, if that makes sense for you. About a 20 to 30% chance of a downpour. You can see one of those heading towards Salem right now. Nothing strong or severe at this time. And we're looking at temperatures in the 80s to low 90s, but don't be fooled. Just like Tori said, it's hot. Not a lot of relief out there. Here's what it feels like. Someone on Facebook said the air just feels heavy outside, and that's a great way to put it. It's humid, thick feeling. It's the air you can wear. A 98 in Greenville and Lawrence, 102. That's what it feels like in Greenwood, 87 for Asheville. Now, as we step through the next few hours, temperatures will cool down, but with it so humid, it takes a really long time to get temps to drop at night. So we'll still be in the mid 70s as of around 4 a.m. across the upstate. Again, mostly dry through your evening, but an isolated shower can't be ruled out. In the mountains, we'll be looking at partly cloudy skies through 8 o'clock and then temps falling to around 70. We'll look ahead to that heat index for tomorrow and a check of the tropics. We have Tropical Storm Nana that has formed in the Caribbean. But first, let's head on over to Cody to check in on traffic.
All right, Kendra, thanks so much. We're going to check out the map right now. In Greenville, we have a lane blocked due to a crash on 385 southbound. That's near Roper Mountain, so be careful in that area. Taking a live look right now, 385 here at the 37. We're not seeing any delays or slowdown, so that's good. This crash might be off the roadway by now. We'll get another update here in about 10 minutes. Well, heads up, construction crews will begin final touches on a project on the interstate that means detours.
Oh yeah, Fox Carolina's Michelle Zhu takes a look at what drivers should expect.
Yeah, starting tonight, drivers will not be able to pass all the way through 385 southbound, and that's because DOT construction crews will be out and about making finishing touches on the bridge, a follow-up from the improvements they were making last week to the Gateway project. Now, they want drivers to know that they will be detoured just south of Roper Mountain Road to Woodruff Road. The detour will start at exit 35, which is I-385 southbound to Woodruff Road. Drivers will then follow the signs back to 385 southbound. This will allow workers to do final surface grinding across the 385 over I-85 bridge approach slab. The DOT says a low spot in this area was corrected last week, and this is the final step in that process. Now, this detour applies to drivers traveling 385 southbound from 9 p.m. tonight to 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, just as long as weather allows. And they want drivers to know it's important to follow the signs, keep an eye out for traffic controls, and of course, be mindful of all the construction workers out and about tonight. Back to you.
Well, as fans around the world mourn actor Chadwick Boseman, his hometown of Anderson is planning a special tribute later this week. Boseman suddenly died on Friday night in Los Angeles following a private 4-year battle with colon cancer. He was only 43 years old. The actor made history playing the Black Panther on the big screen and again was born right in our backyard over in Anderson and graduated from TL Hanna High. The city is planning that public memorial service on Thursday night, and today we spoke with the Anderson city manager about the impact Boseman had on his hometown.
Having somebody of his character, Chadwick Boseman, and how humble he is and inspirational he is, it means a lot to the entire community. And to have him from Anderson, we're very proud of that.
Thursday's memorial service will be at the Anderson Sports and Entertainment Complex. It'll be at the amphitheater outside. Following several speakers, they're going to be screening the Black Panther. It all starts at 7, and of course, social distancing will be enforced.
Coming up, why the USDA wants to keep a summer program going even though many students are back in school.
And in the next half hour, how a Greenville-based testing company is taking their mission nationwide. Welcome back. Happening now, grants are available to help ease some financial burdens during the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Greenville County Redevelopment Authority recently awarded the grants to agencies that provide food, medical, and small business assistance. Starting today, the funds are available on a first-come, first-served basis. To apply, you must live in Greenville County, meet an income requirement, and prove your household was impacted financially by the pandemic. You can head to foxcarolina.com for more information on how to sign up.
Palmetto State lawyers, they're working to help folks facing evictions and housing-related issues. They've set up a hotline. You see the number on your screen right now. And you can get help negotiating a payment plan, working out a holdover period to find new housing. And again, this is all free. There's a lot of folks out there having these issues. So if you know anybody, take that number down, give this to them. It's provided by the South Carolina Bar and South Carolina Legal Services.
Fox Carolina is the school station. Summer is over for many students in the upstate, but the USDA wants to keep the program going.
The department expanded its summer meal program for students this fall. Fox Carolina's Grace Runkle is in Greenville with how families can still get help.
The USDA says they will continue their seamless summer option at meal sites like the one here at Nicholtown Community Center that's pretty popular during the summer months. Now students are going to be able to come here and pick up their meals through the end of the year. The plan is more flexible and involves less paperwork than how they usually distribute meals. The USDA says that's what makes it the perfect option for this fall when schedules could be changing from week to week for students. The waiver allows for more meals to be served in more places for free. It also expands when meals can be picked up, how many can be picked up at once, and who is allowed to accept the meal. All those guidelines will allow for kids to get their meals regardless of whether they're learning in person, online, or in some hybrid form. And some of the waivers also allow parents to pick up a full week's worth of meals at once rather than having to come out to a meal site every single day. Reporting in Greenville, Grace Runkle, Fox Carolina News.
Now, time for Fox Carolina weather. Weather Rate's certified most accurate local forecast.
Well, with the clouds and the better rain chances lately, we haven't seen temperatures just soar, but we will get that later this week. In fact, heat index values in the triple digits Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But some relief comes this weekend. Temperatures will drop, and then next week we'll introduce those thunderstorms again. Even this weekend, we could see a few, but they'll become a little more widespread early next week. But not seeing a whole lot happen out there on Fox Radar 3D. We have a few showers in the mountains, a heavier downpour in northern Oconee County, but much of the upstate is going to end up dry by the end of this evening. Temperatures very warm, 91 in Greenville, but feeling like closer to 100 in spots, 82 in Asheville, 89 in Anderson. As we go through the overnight, 72. Don't forget, we've got the full moon tonight. We'll talk about that in a second. 67 for you in western North Carolina, minimal rain, and skies should clear out in time for you to check out the full corn moon. Normally the full moon of September. Today is September 1st. Normally it's called the harvest moon, but since this won't be the closest full moon to the autumnal equinox, it's called something else. It's called the corn moon because of the corn harvest. We're actually going to get 2 full moons in the month of August, and one of those is going to fall on Halloween. So kind of cool. You can read more on our Fox Carolina weather blog. Tomorrow, the big story is going to be the heat. 92 for a high temperature, but it's going to feel even hotter than that. Look at this heat index around Lawrence at 100, 99 in Greenville. This is late afternoon on Wednesday, and the storm threat will be minimal. Might get a couple in the mountains, but that would be about it. So on the Carolina Sky Meter, we went with an 8, which may be generous considering the heat index, but we don't have much of a storm threat, so rain or storms won't get in your way for your outdoor plans. Now the weekend cool down is coming. We're going to go from heat index values near 100 to Saturday. It's going to feel like 80 to 85 outside, so a huge difference in how it's going to feel. Now taking a look at the tropics, of course, Tropical Depression 15. This one developed off the coast of the Carolinas, but it's moving away, so no concerns for us at this point. And Nana moving through the Caribbean as a tropical storm, but will be moving into Belize and Guatemala as potentially a Category 1 hurricane, but not going to be a U.S. threat. And we're continuing to watch our forecast as we'll be heating up into Wednesday and Thursday, but a front moves in Friday, and that's going to help to drop temperatures. So it'll still be warm, but very comfortable going into your Labor Day holiday with just small rain chances. Looks like the better rain threat will come once we get through Labor Day and into Tuesday. Of course, you can always head to foxcarolina.com for your interactive radar anytime. Now let's head it over to traffic.
Kendra, thanks so much. Getting a Waze update right now. Seeing some heavy traffic on 153 in Powdersville, only moving about 15 miles per hour. Also heavy traffic on Lawrence Road in Greenville. As you can see, pretty slow going there as well. South Batesville Road, we have a Waze user in Taylor's telling us traffic only moving about 16 miles per hour. And you can join our Waze team by letting us know what's happening. Just go to your app, scroll down to Waze groups, choose Fox Carolina Traffic and click Join Team.
The U.S. passed another milestone number of coronavirus cases. Several Midwestern states are emerging as new hotspots as more college campuses work to contain those outbreaks.
Fox's Jonathan Seri has more.
More than 6 million coronavirus cases have been reported nationwide. New infections are now rising across the Midwest. Iowa, Kansas, Minnesota, and the Dakotas reported more than 19,000 new cases last week. Officials say the biggest surge has come from college towns. More than 900 students at the University of Iowa have tested positive, with roughly 1/3 of those identified since Friday.
This virus is highly transmittable, and whether you're in a small town in rural America or a big urban city, we have seen this virus come to you.
Outside the Midwest, new infections have flattened in more than 24 states. New Jersey, one of the hardest hit regions, will move forward with reopening plans. Starting Friday, indoor dining will open with limited capacity for the first time since March.
I think as long as people take precautions, wear masks and, all the PPE, that's the best we can do, because it's going to be around for a while. It's not going away.
Meanwhile, a new report finds a large number of healthcare workers may be going undiagnosed with COVID-19. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention studied more than 3,000 frontline workers. About 6% of them had antibody evidence of a previous infection. About 30% were asymptomatic. Researchers found antibody presence was higher among staff who reported not always wearing a face covering. The CDC says more testing and PPE can help hospitals protect healthcare workers. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
Fox Carolina is the school station. From preschool to college, we're looking into many unanswered questions about how to protect America's students during the pandemic. And look at the stocks today. The Dow Jones up 215 points to close at 28,645. The NASDAQ also in the green, closing the day at 11,939.
We're back with weather and traffic together every 10 minutes, and we continue to track just a little bit of rain across the upstate. Mountains seeing a bit more scattered activity, but nothing compared to what we've had over previous days. Take a look. We've got a little heavy downpour there in Transylvania County, northern Oconee County. So Salem, you'll be next in line to get a nice cool down, if you will, because it is hot out there. 91 in Greenville, but 87 in Clemson. Feels a few degrees warmer than that when you factor in the humidity. And tomorrow will be no different. Looking at about 91 degrees in the upstate, 86 in the mountains, but the heat index will approach 100 in the lower elevations. We'll talk about some relief coming for the weekend coming up in a few minutes. But first, let's head to Cody with traffic.
All right, Kendra, thanks so much. And we do have a couple of crashes we're watching at this hour in Greenville. We'll start on Howell Road at Imperial Drive. Also one on Bethel Road at Bridges Road. Taking a live look outside, the interstate looking pretty good here at the 55-mile marker.
Netflix will let non-subscribers watch some of its most popular shows for free, and Amazon wins FAA approval for Prime Air drone deliveries.
Jane King is in New York this afternoon with those stories in today's Tech Report.
Amazon received federal approval to operate its fleet of Prime Air delivery drones. The approval will give Amazon privileges to safely and efficiently deliver packages to customers via drone. Now, Amazon joins UPS and Alphabet-owned Wing, who previously have gotten FAA approval for their drone delivery operations. Zoom shares are soaring after revenue more than quadrupled compared to last year. New customer subscriptions delivered 81% of revenue growth as people all over the world are doing Zoom calls for business. Zoom averaged 148 million monthly active users, up 4,700% year over year. Well, Twitter has a new record for the most liked tweet. The social network has confirmed that the late Chadwick Boseman's last post, the news of his death by his family, is the most liked tweet ever. The tweet has been liked more than 7 million times. And Netflix has confirmed that popular shows and movies such as Stranger Things and Bird Box and The Two Popes and others will be available to non-subscribers for free. The select Netflix original series of movies to be available on desktop and Android web browsers. Only the first episodes, though, of each show is available. The streaming giant will allow users to watch the entire movies for free. From New York, I'm Jane King with your Tech Report.
While Amazon expands, what new feature Walmart is rolling out to challenge the e-commerce giant?
And Bi-Lo stores are becoming less and less in the Carolinas. The latest Greenville location to be sold off to a competitor, but it's not all bad news, especially if you live along Pelham Road or shop there.
Closed captioning sponsored by Bojangles. It's Bo time.
Welcome back. Fox Carolina is the school station. From preschool to college, questions about how to protect America's students during the pandemic still don't have a clear answer, even as millions of kids head back to school.
Many people hoped a vaccine would add some clarity, but now there is a new concern about a vaccine that may hit the market before it's even ready. Whitney Wild has more from Washington.
We will not make that decision on the basis of politics. That's a promise.
The head of the Food and Drug Administration insists a vaccine will only reach the public after officials determine it is safe and effective. Dr. Stephen Hahn added he would sooner resign than release a treatment before it's ready.
I think all options are on the table with respect. I hope we won't be in that position.
Hahn recently told the Financial Times the agency may issue an emergency use authorization for a vaccine before late-stage clinical trials are completed. Some experts worry the desire to bring a vaccine to the market will push officials to rush through testing. The FDA already allowed emergency use of hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine, then pulled back when the data showed they didn't work.
The conversations we've been having out here are people are very worried about the process and very worried that the process will be subverted for political reasons.
Concerns about vaccines are growing as students across the country return to some form of school, whether in person, virtually, or a blend. Universities are trying to keep their campuses safe, but challenges and questions remain.
There will be outbreaks, as we know, and we want to catch them quickly and take immediate action.
I'm Whitney Wild reporting.
A Greenville-based testing company is taking their mission nationwide. ArcPoint Labs started off with standard testing, everything from drug to DNA testing, but now they've pivoted toward COVID-19. They're hoping to help those who don't always have access to what others do.
Fox Carolina's Shell Ramin has the story.
Greenville-based testing company ArcPoint Labs is putting a spotlight on a population that's been forgotten.
They live in such close quarters that social distancing is very difficult. They're migrant workers, they're farmers.
CEO John Constantine took resources down to the Sunshine State to help the Guatemalan population.
That has a massive spike in positives.
A group that fled genocide and now is looking at a 30% positivity rate.
You know, it's really fun to be on the forefront of this and watch how the technology evolves. The tests are getting quicker, they're getting less expensive, and they're getting easier to access.
But for the people who can't access the tests, like this Florida population, ArcPoint Labs is teaming up with established nonprofits and creating pop-up testing sites for those who need it most.
We're very excited about that here in Greenville because we see that as an opportunity to partner with other nonprofits around the country and replicate that model from coast to coast.
This same model used to help hundreds of Guatemalans. They hope to now stretch across the country. Once just a standard testing company, now spearheading a COVID-19 testing movement.
We know that there's not enough testing to go around right now. And so, you know, this site right here is a perfect example of us trying to serve the community to provide additional testing above and beyond what the state, counties, and what the hospital systems are able to do.
Especially to those who wouldn't otherwise see this kind of help. Shell Ramin, Fox Carolina News.
ArcPoint Labs says they're very excited to be launching the PCR test used for travel or return to work. It's the, quote, gold standard for a viral test, and it should be available in the next coming weeks.
Well, less time on the road means more money in your pockets. Since so many people have been working from home during the pandemic, no commute means folks are filling up less and there's less wear and tear on their vehicles. The Federal Highway Administration says Americans traveled nearly 37 billion miles less in June compared to last year.
That adds up to a savings of about $758 million a day. And $90 billion since the pandemic started. And on the other side of the coin, working from home is tough on businesses that benefit from commuters, like getting your morning coffee, lunch, or any other quick stop near your office.
I don't know. I passed Starbucks and those lines are still a mile long, but I'm sure some businesses, though, are not benefiting from it. Speaking of miles long, the backup on 385 and 85, not too bad this afternoon. We've had some hiccups, which you can see out here. Right under our tower cam, 85 south, a little slow heading towards the 385 corridor, but the sun's out. Clouds, not too bad out there, and we're not talking about any storms right now.
Yeah, you know, I mean, some people would probably like to get cooled off by some rain, but it's nice that it doesn't get in your way for the evening commute. We don't have a whole lot happening, as Cody mentioned, on radar, but we do have one heavy shower moving through Oconee County, as well as Transylvania County. Salem, you're going to be getting some of that rain here pretty soon. And any other areas in the upstate seeing rain, it's going to be very sparse over the next couple of hours. So I would plan to do some watering if you haven't seen any rain the last couple of days, because ahead we are not looking to much more rain either. 91 in Greenville, 82 up in Asheville, but it feels like closer to 100 in parts of the upstate. Tonight we'll get down to 72. Keep an eye out for that beautiful full moon as it rises later on. 72 in the upstate, 67 for western North Carolina. So it is going to be definitely muggy, but certainly not all that warm. Continuing to look ahead to your back to school forecast. This is week 2 for many kids. We give the morning an A- since it'll be a little bit humid, but otherwise no big issues. The afternoon a B- since it will feel like 99 degrees potentially in parts of the upstate. We'll talk much more about what we can expect throughout the rest of this week and the holiday weekend coming up. First, let's head to traffic.
Kendra, thanks so much. And getting an update right now in Greenville County. We have a crash on Howell Road at Imperial Drive. We're still watching it this hour, and still have that one on Bethel Road at Bridges Road. A new crash in Spartanburg County on Blackstock Road at John Dodd Road, and one on Zion Hill Road at Buckstone Lane. In Cherokee County, we have a lane closed due to a crash on I-85 southbound at exit 92. Taking a live look, I-85 southbound at the 63. Traffic moving a little slow there, heading northbound. We'll get some update on that as well. It could just be some folks slowing down for an object, but we'll have another update in about 10 minutes. Well, all new here on the 4 o'clock news, the Bilo on Pelham Road in Greenville will soon become a Lowe's Foods.
This comes after the company bought a site at Pelham Road and Boiling Springs Road, which they'll now look to sell. The store will remain a Bilo until the sale is finalized this fall. Then the store will be renovated to look just like the Lowe's stores in Greer and Simpsonville. 2 Bilo stores in Charleston and 2 in Columbia will also be turned into Lowe's Foods. Meanwhile, Walmart is rolling out its subscription plan, Walmart Plus, a move to compete with the likes of Amazon and its Prime subscription. So you can either pay $98 per year or $12.95 per month. Members get free shipping on orders $35 or more. Certain items can be delivered as soon as the same day they're ordered. Subscribers will also get a discount on gas of up to 5 cents per gallon at Walmart or Murphy USA. The subscription rolls out September 15th, and you can sign up for a free 15-day trial. There you go. Neighbors in Greer saw quite a scene at the DMV this afternoon when deputies and police responded to a suspicious package. It happened around 3 o'clock. Somebody spotted this package and called it in. They evacuated the office and determined it was not a threat.
We are working to get more information on a fire at a condemned Spartanburg Motor Lodge. We've been out here several times already this year. Police and deputies there tell us that 2 rooms were set on fire. Crews found 2 different people sleeping in different rooms when they got there. Now, one was arrested on outstanding warrants. We're working to confirm that man's name. The building caught fire as well back in June. It was also set on fire back in January and February of this year. We've been told many times this thing was going to be torn down. It still has not been torn down, but we were again told today it will soon be demolished.